Okay, quite a few requests for this one. And the story is just so insane that it's going to need two parts. So let's get started. David Parker Ray, also known as the Toy Box Killer, is a man that had been torturing women for decades. He had a torture room, aka his toy box, on property, and that's where he would commit all these crimes. David was born in 1939 in New Mexico, and he was raised by his maternal grandparents, who apparently were pretty strict, and they lived on like a small ranch. Now, he was sporadically visited by his violent, alcoholic father, who would show him dirty magazines, and he was just not a good man to be around. He was bullied in high school, and he says that's what started his drug and alcohol addiction. And he even said in a recorded confession in 1993 that he began SAing women in his early teens. He even told his first wife that he committed his first homicide in 1957. Police were never able to substantiate that, though. After high school, he works as a general mechanic in the U.S. Army, where he receives an honorable discharge, where then he becomes a maintenance man working in TRC, Truth or Consequences, New Mexico, working for the Parks Department. He lives in a trailer in nearby Elephant Butte, and he lives his entire adulthood there, basically, until his arrest. Now, David meets a woman named Cindy Hendy, and she's already fleeing her own convictions from Washington State. And the two of them link up, and they basically become kind of like a Bonnie and Clyde. That same 1993 confession, he also said that he would have his victims service Cindy as well. He had previously been divorced 4 times, and he had 2 children, and one of which, she goes by Jessie, she becomes his accomplice. Apparently, she tried to warn the FBI about him in 1986, but they didn't have enough. They didn't have enough to arrest him. So now this torture room on his property, or his toy box as he calls it, it was a cargo trailer that he soundproofed and then had all types of torture devices, medical devices. I mean, there was syringes, surgical blades, clamps, whips, chains, electric shock machine, saws. I mean, he's believed to have spent over $100,000 outfitting and repurposing this trailer. You can find a lot of info on this. I'm not going to go too deep into the nasty stuff he was doing, but there was also this like wooden contraption that would immobilize the woman, and then he would have friends come over and SA them. Apparently there was even things with animals. I don't know. Something else I found just like super twisted is that when they would start to regain consciousness, from all of these things he was doing to them, he would have a recording of his voice playing for them, like just to torture them mentally even more. Sometimes he would release them. He would leave them in a drug-induced amnesia on the side of the road. Apparently, he would kidnap about 4 to 5 women a year and keep them on average like 2 to 3 months. Investigators believe he tortured and killed 60 women. They've never found any bodies, but he kept a detailed diary of everything that he's done, but it did not include burial sites. Make sure you come back for part 2, where I deep dive 3 of his victims who lived to tell their story.